A little bit about myself. I'm a statistics and math major. Thank you. That's more excitement than, thank you. Oh, yeah, we all need it. That's more excitement than I usually get, right? I normally get one of two reactions, 1 out of 10 times to, statistically speaking, of course, right? I'll just be like, wow, that sounds fascinating, right? With that big smile that we're all used to. And the other 9 out of 10 people, I actually like them better because they cut to the chase for me and they tell me something like this. I'm so sorry, man. Like, you literally had all of the STEM majors to pick from and you chose the grossest two. Congratulations, right? That's what I normally get. Now, I do some interesting things for fun, but what you learn, if you talk to me for another 5 minutes, I get excited about absolutely nothing when it comes to math and stat, right? P-value greater than 0.05, right? For those of you who appreciate that. Thank you. And, I think people just jump to conclusions automatically. They're like, so, you do math for fun. And no, I don't. Actually, not at all, right? But everyone has this idea that on a Sunday morning, right, I'm just flipping through my PD's book and I'm like, what PDE shall I indulge myself in solving today, right? And I just stumble on the heat equation. And of course, I'm like, pinky up, sipping Earl Grey the whole time, obviously. But no, I don't do that. But I'm sure the Meckies out there, right, you guys fool around with some PDs in your upper level courses. Do we have any Meckies with us here tonight? All right, got a few. The rest of them are working out, I'm sure, right? For those of you who don't know, Meckies are the bros of the STEM world, right? If you go to have a conversation with one, it's going to sound something like this. Hey, how's your day? Dude, I just built a ship using only a nail gun and I held it with my pinky the whole time because I'm that strong.
Yeah.
Okay. What class is this for? Thermal. Right. And you're not an engineer. You're like, I'm pretty sure that's not what you're doing in class right now, right? So I would stop working out and I would go to class if I were you. It sounds like a good idea. So I mentioned that, Meckies love them some PDEs. I think a lot of them have great pride, especially those who don't come in programming anything, right? Because they're shoved in a few MATLAB courses. The first 3 lines that they code, they're not going to type themselves. Oh no, they're going to copy and paste them from Google right into their nice graphical user interface. And they're like, I cured cancer. No, you plotted y equals x. Bro, you didn't even change the line color, right? Like, who does that? And all the comp sci guys out there are like, I did that when I was in a coma in 7th grade. I've seen better. Right? But they have so much pride, and I'm here to tell you, for the Meckies here tonight, or if you have a friend who is one, right, you're not allowed to go study abroad and teach people MATLAB. And it sounds like a crazy statement, but here's why, right? MATLAB is like your bougie, your upper middle class Montgomery County, I can say that because I'm from Moco, right? Your upper middle class programming language. You just have like a gorgeous, toolkit up at the top and you do absolutely nothing. Oh no, you just click on that and you paid for absolutely nothing. Oh no, the school, right? If you are walking down the court and you see like a basketball net hasn't been repaired, right? That is because the Meckies are using their MATLAB licenses. We do not have the funds anymore to pay for them, right? But we use them like there's no tomorrow. So the next time you see like a deflated basketball, you just go, Meckies, right? Because you know that we could have paid for it otherwise. Right, but what's going to happen, they're going to get so excited, they're going to go to a third world country and study abroad. Awesome, right? They're going to pull out their MATLAB, they're going to be like, behold, look at my plot. You're like, no, it's cosine of x, and your window's too small, right? Get with it. But they're still excited, and all the kids are going to be so excited, they're going to be like, oh yeah, plots, wow, great. But there's going to be that one practical kid who's going to raise his hand and it's going to be like, who's paying for that? And the Mecky goes, behold, look at my plots, right? Because there's no room in the budget to actually pay for it. I mentioned that I don't do math for fun, but I'm very proud to report this is my 4th consecutive semester as a teaching assistant here for the math department at UMBC. Thank you. Thank you. I consider myself to be TA strong, right? Because you see some rough things in your days on the job. Yeah, it's not an easy one. This is a few semesters back now, and I have to preface this with I love sarcasm, right? It fills in the void that friends in a social life would, at least for me personally, right? So I walk into my discussion and I just see like a pile of used tissues and paper towels laying around. I actually don't know if they're used, but they're kind of in the wild, right? So I'm gonna call them contaminated. And so I told my students before I passed out the quiz, I said, hey, just to let you know, please come claim your used tissues and paper towels if you haven't already, right? And I thought I made that pretty clear. And so I pass out the quiz, right? Everything's good. And I have one student, who strolls up to me and he's like, hey, you said you have tissues. So I look at him straight in the face. I said, no, that was a joke. They're used. And he goes, and he blows his nose in a tissue. Right? It kind of took years off my life. And there were two girls sitting in the front. Poor things, they just kind of looked like if you're stalking someone at Bed Bath & Beyond, right, who's checking out. They're like, he didn't use his 30% off coupon? What kind of monster shops at Bed Bath & Beyond without his coupon? Right, it was just, oof, it was rough. So I have to say, I haven't seen that on a regular basis, but if you do go into the TA realm, especially math here, you will grade a lot of things in your day, and you'll see some ugly things. Yeah, but I will give my students credit, right? I've learned quite a few things in my day. I've learned, for instance, that the square root of the quantity a squared plus b squared is in fact a plus b. Right? Yeah. And for those of you who aren't laughing, don't worry, all of your STEM friends will disown you by the end of this evening. Right? But have no fear, because if you're an Amazon Prime member, I'm sure you can get a whole new group of friends who will ship for free to your doorstep in 2 to 3 days. Right? So have no fear. You'll get new friends in new time. I actually might shop myself, when I'm out here. Right? And it amazes me if we don't have a good grasp, right, on things like square roots, how can we even begin to talk about things like climate change, right? Such a big issue, we can't handle such like little small details. So maybe, perhaps just hear me out, right? There needs to be like a no algebraic mistake left behind movement, right? Down this like tangent of pi over 4 is root 3 nonsense, right? We need to cut that out. Or perhaps, right, this is gonna sound a little crazy, we need like a math national civil rights movement. I know, can you picture just all the T's walking down, Washington like, we need less negative signs, right? And they're sick of all the things they see. We want the limits written every time, not -1, right? Everyone's just furious. I think it'd be great. And if I were giving a speech, for instance, in such a movement, I know mine would start something like this. I have a dream that one day, every time I ask for the equation of a plane, I do not see not a single student who gives me the parametric form of a line. I have a dream today. Thank you.